Tesla Model 3 made in China is coming to the market sooner than we might have thought. There's some interesting developments this week. I'll tell you all about it coming up next.
Taking over the world, electrifying the world, E4 Electric!
Welcome to E4 Electric, your number one source of unbiased electric car news. If this is your first time here, go ahead and click on that subscribe button so you don't miss anything moving forward. All right, so as you guys know, Tesla has been building the very first solely owned factory in China. Very first because all of the manufacturers, as you know, auto manufacturers, they are supposed to partner up with local automakers who were mainly invested or owned by the Chinese government and therefore share their patents and secrets and most importantly profits. Well, because of the new electric car and green energy policy, China is allowing Tesla build their own 100% solely owned factory in Shanghai, and I believe they broke ground in January, and this is a big deal. Now, this is the picture that Elon showed us during the Model Y presentation. As you can see, lots of semi trucks, Tesla semi trucks over there. You know, when I saw this picture during the presentation, and Elon at some point said, you know, we hidden the picture of the pickup truck, I actually started looking through this image and trying to figure out if it's somewhere over there. It was not, though. That would have been kind of cool, right? But so anyway, this is the first time he kind of showed us the what the factory is going to look like. Now, none of this all of these factories look the same. Nothing's too exciting, but the fact that they're building it there and they'll be able to, first of all, you know, keep all of their profits, but you know, most importantly, as you know, because of this whole tariff thing, and even before the whole tariff war between the U.S. and in China, whatever you want to call it. You know, Tesla is in China, like the most expensive Teslas in the world because of the tariff, and now it's been going between 15% and 40%, and Tesla been trying to adjust prices and stuff like that. Normally, I've been a big critic of Tesla, you know, screwing out with pricing, but then in China they kind of had to because the tariff's been changing, and it's something that's not under their control. Now they've been building out this factory, and this is where they're saying they're going to start producing Model 3, and they're trying to produce them by the end of this year, and everyone was like, you are crazy, and you're definitely pulling a Elon Musk on us, even though they were talking to Elon Musk, but you know, this is impossible. Now, as you guys know, things in China move very quickly. You know, when I report about Byton, it's, you know, when I visited their factory in Nanjing, I believe it was like June or July, we were basically just seeing dirt, and now they just showed us some of the pictures of the factory being pretty much complete, and it's no surprise that Tesla's being able to move pretty quickly, but there's news this week that not only they might just be on track with what Elon said in terms of being done by the end of the summer, there's also a Shanghai official that say they're going to be done by the end of May in terms of like being done and being ready to produce cars. Now, I got to tell you, I mean, this is one of those things I'm going to believe Elon over somebody else here because, I mean, it's just impossible as far as May is concerned. But there's also report that they are already starting to bring the Model 3, some of the Model 3 equipment there. And while the rest of the factory is being built, they're going to start kind of setting things up and, you know, decorating. Now, by the way, that makes sense. I think Teslarati called it a risky move. I'm not really sure why. I think it actually makes sense. But yeah, I mean, obviously, getting everything done really quickly is risky in any way, but nevertheless. And by the way, so there's this channel on you know, I don't even know the name of it. I think it's called Wuwa Vision, but it's like literally Chinese characters. And the guy does a lot of reporting from over there. I guess he lives nearby the factory. And so the latest one, he's been showing us some images of just basically construction here. I mean, things are really happening. Here's another one. It doesn't look like it's going to be finished in May, but it does look like, you know, don't forget, a lot of construction needs to be done underground before you start putting the structures up. So the fact that they're putting all the structures up means that they've done already huge progress there. Now, there's also an amazing flyby video with his drone that he did at night just to show that things are actually happening at night. It's beautiful. I'm going to show it to you right now. Actually, before that, let me remind you guys that this video and this channel is sponsored by Byton. Check out the Byton M-Byte, the all-electric SUV coming to the US and Europe next year, starting at only $45,000. I'm a reservation holder. I'm so excited. You should be as well. Actually, it's no money down whatsoever to put yourself on the reservation list. So go to byton.com or check out their link in the description of this video. So get your own Byton spot right now. Okay, so construction video, and you know, This is the fun thing in front of his channel, kind of the intro, and that's how all of his videos start, which is pretty cool. But the construction video is really really like just gorgeous, I have to say. So this is basically this is pretty much the money shot, if you ask me. It's pretty cool. As you can see, construction is going full force. This is at night, pretty much on the entire sort of territory of the factory. So this is pretty cool. And now, so what does this mean? Don't forget that China has been pretty friendly to the electric car manufacturing community and to electric car owners and just the whole revolution, because in a lot of cities they just can't breathe. This is not like a pet project. This is something that they absolutely need, and they're kind of becoming the leaders in the world, as you know. Now they recently cut down on their incentives. They cut their incentives in half, and they also said the only cars that are going to be qualified to receive the incentives are going to have over 250-mile range. Now the reason this factor is going up is because Chinese officials seem to be very much into Tesla. They're definitely pushing for it, and they want Tesla to push their manufacturers and everybody else to come there and to make cars with a good range that will be able to kind of benefit their economy and their citizens and so forth, which I totally understand. And it is definitely happening. I mean, as you can see, a lot of other manufacturers, and including Byton, that chose to have a factory there in Nanjing just in the first place. That will be the only one they have. Now, Byton's factory is going to have 300,000 output, but the Tesla's factory, they're trying to get to 500,000 cars per year output. So, I mean, all of it is pretty impressive. All right, so let's talk about some positives and negatives here. Now the positive is obviously, the faster, the Tesla can build that factory, the faster they can lower their prices, especially for the Model 3 in China, because of the tariffs. That way they can produce cars for China there, and then the cars for Europe and the United States and Canada here at the Fremont factory. And I believe they also might be doing some of their production, of course, at the Gigafactory in Nevada, where they make batteries for Model 3. And so, I mean, overall, it's just great news. And the fact that doing it this fast is unbelievable. And, it looks like it's going to be encouraging a lot of other companies, including startups, that, they can go to China and build, their factory pretty fast and relatively cheap. This is costing about $2 billion for Tesla to build this. That's pretty cheap compared to if they would have done it here in the United States or in Europe. A lot of people estimated that to be at about $5 billion. So that's definitely, I mean, that's just awesome. Now, the negative part, of course, and it depends from which side you're looking at it, looks like manufacturing of anything, including electric cars right now, is cheaper in China. It most likely, the more and more manufacturing jobs and companies will be moving to China. As you guys remember, I had Sandy Munro on my show a few weeks ago, and he mentioned exactly the same thing, that his prediction is that everyone's going to be moving to China. Now, it's negative for pretty much European and the U.S. economy, and we're living in the new age of global economy. But at the same time, the reason things in China are cheaper is obviously because of their labor laws, because of their standards and so forth that are lower, that maybe don't cater to the employees as much as they cater to businesses. And this is a philosophical issue, and I mean, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comment section. What do you guys think? Are we compromising sort of, I don't know if we're talking about human rights, but the rights of employees and conditions. We've heard like all these horror stories from the iPhone factories and so forth. Are we going to repeat that with the automotive industry? I don't know. I mean, so this is definitely is a concern, and I guess almost an unfair advantage. Let me know what you guys think. And also, I just want to really quickly, before I forget, to give a quick shout out to one of my newer Patreons, Robert Samira. Thank you so much for becoming a Patreon, the only place where you can watch me live. And thank you to all of my Patreons for supporting this independent and contributing to this independent YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. If you guys want to become a part of my Patreon community, all you have to do is browse to the description of this video. There's a link for that there. It's just very simple, patreon.com/e for electric. So thank you to all of you guys. Boom, perfect timing. Thank you to all of you guys for supporting my channel. All right, looking forward to your comments. Other than that, see you next time, and remember to stay charged.